trying to get me down with all of it. I don't care, money.
You know, I heard a fellow YouTuber and photographer say that the only reason photographers charge for photography is so they can buy more gear. This is so true. Photography is just too expensive to only be a hobby, so it makes sense for the gear that you spend so much money on to make some money in return. It's a beautiful day when your photography starts paying for itself. It takes a huge burden off of you, especially if you were grown like me with a family and have to be responsible for the money you spend. So these are 4 lenses that you can invest in, and they have great potential to pay for themselves and even make you enough money to blow on more gear. First, a 50mm, 1.2 to 1.8. The 50mm is a staple to the camera bag. There are a pretty long list of shoots you can do with this lens. You can do just about any type of one-person portrait shoot with this lens. You can do senior shoots, maternity, birthday shoots, and headshots with this lens. I also recommend the 50mm for event photography. There is not much work that you will have to turn down when you have this lens. Another great quality of this lens is that it offers you a fast aperture of 1.2 to 1.8. This opens the door for low light situations that you will eventually face when covering events that you can approach with confidence with the 50mm lens. One added bonus of the 50mm is that you can use it for larger details like cakes and floral arrangements. You can shoot wide open at 1.2 to 1.8 and add some of that secret sauce that will set you apart from others. It is also a low-risk investment because, again, you can get a 1.8 Nifty 50 in every brand for under $200. When you decide that it's a focal length that you love and you can't live without, and it starts making you some money, you can spend that money on other beautiful options like the RF 50mm 1.2L. That gives better low light performance and less color fringing in bright locations. So above all lenses, the 50mm is the one that can get you started making money and pay for itself so you can buy the next lens. The 15 to 35mm is a focal length that you are going to use more than you think. Before you niche down, you will be asked to shoot everything. It's okay to turn work down because it's something that you just don't care to do, but it is not cool to turn down work because you can't do it. This is a must-have focal range for real estate and architectural photography. A 24 to 70 simply will not shoot wide enough to get coverage of many properties because of the tight spaces or large buildings. There are few things that are more frustrating than needing to shoot wider and you can't. A 15 to 35 will allow you to shoot 3 walls in most rooms and will have you confidently earning money with real estate photography with ease. This lens is also a lifesaver when it comes to shooting large groups and you can't back up very far. Your clients will ask if you can get everybody and you can respond with a smile, yes, yes I can. The only debate really is should you get the 2.8 or f4. I recommend the 2.8 because you can use this focal length to shoot people if you have to, and those extra stops of light can be very useful. This may not be one of your favorite lenses, but it's going to be one that is necessary. The 70 to 200. I call this lens the cell phone killer. It simply gets shots that other people can't. Have you ever had the feeling that you were trying to be outdone by a relative with a cell phone or even worse, an iPad? The 70 to 200 kills that noise. We need to get shots that others can't to justify our worth, and the 70 to 200 gives that wow factor that comes from you getting shots that people have no idea you were even taking. It is interesting how people perceive photography differently. Some people love pose shots, but there are many people that get so tickled with off-guard shots. This lens is the king of that. When you shoot with the 50 or 35, people tend to pose for you. The 70 to 200 allows for you to find a little spot and take pictures of people in their natural state. And when you get those shots, you can show that uncle with that iPad who's really the boss. This is also a studio workhorse. This is definitely a perfect headshot lens. It sets a perfect distance between the photographer and client for close headshots where you don't have the camera right in someone's face. Also, this distance keeps the lens from distorting facial features and gives a flattering rendering of your subject. Details, details, details. The 35mm will round out your bag by allowing you to shoot close macro photography. The price is what brought me to my 35mm, but its performance is what keeps it in my bag. This is a very versatile lens, but I use it mostly to capture details at events. It's great for shooting decorations, cakes, cupcakes. It's one of the smallest RF lenses, so it takes up hardly any room in my bag. It even fits in my pocket if I want to cycle it in with my 50mm. If I'm shooting an event where I do not have a lot of room to compose my shot, I put on the 35mm. It does get overshadowed by my 50mm, but it does have its place in my bag. There are very few occasions where your addiction pays for itself. But fortunately, photography can be a profitable endeavor. And with the right gear, your camera bag can become a money bag. Finally, whatever you are shooting with, I hope that you are using it, and I hope that you are enjoying it. Listen, you all have a great day, and I will see you next time.